Drug regularization is the idea that through three simple regulations, we can take the giant mountain that is the current illicit drug death spike and move it into the sea. Illicit fentanyl is responsible for 76% of all the illicit drug deaths in BC, Canada, and the numbers are also astonishingly high elsewhere. So it's important that illicit fentanyl is removed from recreational drug market availability. And the reason that it's causing all the deaths is very simple. Illicit fentanyl is so potent that the doses are only 0.5 milligram to 1 milligram in size. And so the amateur pharmacists who are responsible for apportioning the stuff that they get from overseas into cut powders that are at lower concentrations are just unable to do this with any kind of reliable accuracy. It's really such a potent drug that only big pharma should be allowed to play with it. The risk of overdose from everything that's not fentanyl is comparatively small, but even that risk can be greatly reduced by doing something that is completely simple: putting labels onto all the drugs. It's important for a user to know what the concentration in a bag of heroin is, or what the concentration of some pills of ecstasy are. It's also helpful if the drugs come with dosing information and some advice for the warning signs, risk factors, and length of time that it might take for addiction to occur. Okay, I'm going to tell you about a remarkable fact that comes via a publication from the Harm Reduction Coalition in 2016. Nobody has ever died at any of the 150 supervised consumption sites that exist around the world. And so I think that all of the dangerous drug use should necessarily be placed inside supervised consumption sites. And the way that we can pay for this is straightforward. If the supervised consumption sites themselves were to sell the safe drugs, then they could pay for their own service. And in addition to that, they could also offer recovery programs, medication-assisted recovery programs. One of the greatest complaints that we hear commonly from opioid addicts across North America is that the publicly funded medication-assisted recovery programs are too hard to get into, and the wait times are too long, sometimes a couple of months or more. So by placing medication-assisted recovery programs into the same house, so to speak, where the drugs are sold, we'd be bringing the medication-assisted recovery programs and the availability of the drug itself into a 1-to-1 ratio. And that is so much more advantageous over the ratio that exists now.